So we are at the Old Cathedral French and Indian Cemetery here in Vincennes, Indiana. To the left, you can see the cathedral, and to the right is just the massive George Rogers Clark Memorial, the site of the Battle of Fort Sackville, which was just a huge win for the colonial forces in the battle of the American Revolution. But we want to take a look at this cemetery. So according to the historical plaque, there are 4,000 people buried in this cemetery, but there are only just a few actual markers. And this is dated 1750 to 1846. So this is very old. Vincennes was settled in 1732, the oldest city in Indiana. And go ahead and put your flashlight on so we can kind of see.
I can't reach.
Kind of bring it up to it. So, in memory of Caroline Benedict, consort of Daniel Benedict, who departed this life May 17th, 1845, at her 18th year of age. And then there's a walkway, and over here to the right, I've got my helper with me. He is helping me to see and read some of these memorials, these stones. This one is very hard to see. It looks like it's dated. Go ahead and shine your flashlight on this from the side. It's just so hard to see.
Super bright outside.
Yeah, it's very bright. It's hard to see the name, but it looks like possibly 1826. And then here beside it, Mary LaPlante, in her lifetime, consort of Lambert Barrios, I'm probably Barrio, the French settlement, so it's probably, I'm saying it wrong, I'm sure. Born 1807, and it is really hard to see when she would have passed away. Maybe 40 something, but the bottom of the stone is actually broken off. And then we have some stones just marked with initials, no actual names. Then we swing over here. You can hear the cathedral bells going off. These are newer stones, but of course these are soldiers. Joseph Dubois Continental Line, the Revolution, 1762 to 1812. Pierre Grimard, Continental Troops, Revolutionary War, 1784. Louis Victor Edeline, 2nd Captain, Continental Troops, Revolutionary War, 1730 to 1799. Michel, I will not be able to say the last name, Continental Troops, Revolutionary War, 1797. Jean-Marie Philippe de Grasse, Continental Troops, Revolutionary War, 1734 to 1788. Joseph Bowman, Indiana Major, VA State Troop, Revolutionary War, August 18th, 1779. And there's a kind of a plaque here of, it says 1775, Patriot. And then behind we have some more. Francois Bousseron, Broussereau, 1791. Nicholas Cardinal, 1789. Pierre Levry de Martin, 1804. Francois Peltier, maybe, 1788. And Andre Legadoc, 1793. I think I'm butchering up the last names. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's a memorial for Jean-Francois Rivet. Died 1804, just a huge memorial. I believe he was involved in kind of the first, maybe the first teacher, public school teacher, obviously involved in the church here. We have some writing on each side. And behind, we've got us a grave that is unmarked. I don't know if that was related to his. And then here towards the back of the field, and you can see this is a pretty large field. There's a big gap between the graves that we've read off and the field. And if there are 4,000, there are several graves here, and you can actually feel the ground isn't level. It almost feels like there are some sort of indentions in the ground. Looks like Eliza, wife of, but this is a very old monument. And then we have one more, and it may be easier to see on video. Here lies Janny, I can't read the last name, the wife of, and that's not, for me, I can't read it, but it looks like 1806, maybe. But you can just see the ground is just, there's just areas that are just, it's just not flat. It just feels like indentions that they're probably, obviously unmarked graves that are just all around the area. But Vincennes, Indiana is full of history. As I said, it's the first settlement in Indiana. Very important American Revolution battle here, right on the Wabash River. And beautiful, which is being, they're working on restoring the bridge across into Illinois, which is where Abraham Lincoln and his family would have crossed when they moved to Illinois from Indiana. But then we'll get one more quick view of the just the massive George Rogers Clark Memorial. We'll have a video at some point for that. This the memorial was opened in the early 1930s and was attended by the President of the United States. I mean, 20-30,000 people. So Roosevelt was here, and also in the 60s, Lyndon Johnson was here in Vincennes. But want to add one more. Here's a memorial here, memory of Mr. and Mrs. Henry Fritch and Mr. and Mrs. Albert Bonnert. But the Old Cathedral French and Indian Cemetery. Just kind of get just a quick view of the whole thing. Thank you for watching.